everyone, we are back at EPCOT again for another festival. I'm holding a booklet. As you can see, it's the Festival of the Holidays. I think it's the 75th annual or something like that. Just kidding. But there's not too many vegan things we can enjoy this festival. In fact, it's pretty much the same as last year with even less, perhaps. We're going to check it out. We're going to find some things that you might be able to modify, so stay with us. Char and Chop is sticking around from the very end of the Food and Wine Festival, and you can modify this grilled impossible spicy sausage by removing the polenta and the ricotta, and you just get the sausage and the sauce, and it's vegan as is that way. We're not going to get it this time because we just got it for the festival, but it is here, and you can modify that for the Festival of the Holidays. Returning this year again is Las Posadas Holiday Kitchen, which in the past we have been able to modify this giant tostada de chorizo by removing the chorizo. This year it is a slightly different thing with the chipotle black bean puree. So we're going to find out if it is modifiable if we remove the chorizo and the cotija cheese and the crema. So it's a kind of a dreary day here. So we're under cover of umbrella in the refreshment outpost area. Probably pretty noisy as usual. We did stop first at Joffrey's and get a peppermint mocha with oat milk and no whipped cream, which is vegan as is. And we got the peanuts too, which looks kind of different from last year. Last year it had like peanuts sprinkled on top. This time it appears to be, I'm gonna have to like look up old photos, but it appears to be just served on top of rice. I can't really remember, but it seemed different to me. But I'm gonna try it. It does taste similar, but different. It's still spicy, it's got that kick, but it's a little bit more tomatoey to me. And also there's absolutely no peanuts at all, and that was like my favorite part. So that's very sad for me. Maybe it's just the bottom of the barrel that we got tonight, I don't know. We did confirm with the chef and management over at Refreshment Outpost that they actually don't have any peanuts for the peanut stew, and they may not get them for a couple of weeks. So that's cool. And I guess no one can just run down to Publix and get them because Disney. But if you remember this from last year and enjoyed the crunch of the peanuts, which I did, like this was my favorite thing, I would have my husband run over and get this and bring it home for me to eat at night, just because I loved it so much. It's still good, but it is missing that crunch. So if you're going to get this in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a BYOP situation, bring your own peanuts, and yeah, so just be forewarned of that. But it is still a great option. It hasn't changed in quality, just no peanuts. And now it's raining. Okay, so this is the modified, all you have to do is take the Parmesan cheese off. The sauce smells very saucy, acidic. These are like squishy little fried dough balls. If you really, really like bread and sauce, this is a great option. The flavor is actually really good, the sauce. I never go to Italy, but I should. There are vegan things, but that's basically it. Sauce and spaghetti, but that is a good option. And then you have these, which are completely vegan as is, no modifications necessary. And they're like little zeppoli if you are from New England or, you know zeppoli fried dough. By the way, this is called montanara. I took Italian for 2 years. I don't know what that means. Maybe mountains or something? I don't know. But it is $9. So that's kind of a lot for some fried dough, but you know, like I said, if you're super into bread, this is called dolce pizza, which is basically just the fried pizza dough with cinnamon and sugar, and that one is only $7.50. So good. Like I can't remember the last time I've had fried dough because here they have funnel cakes and they're not vegan because they put eggs in it. This is vegan as is, so it's your chance to get fried dough or whatever they call it where you're from. Where I come from in Massachusetts, we call it fried dough. So there you go.
They also have the hidden Olaf scavenger hunt. I'll give you one hint to where one Olaf is located with a panettone here in Italy with the slimy water. But Italy looks very nice and festive. So over here is where the Tuscany booth is, and that's where you can get those two items. One modified with no cheese and one vegan as is. This is the stone-baked Moroccan bread in the Tangerine Cafe, which has been here since Flower and Garden, pretty much. Nothing has changed. It is the same two dips. I think it's Zug, Zatar, and hummus. Very excited that we still have this bread option, and it's vegan as is. And we got it even though it's the same thing that's been here for the last two festivals. Just because there isn't that much for us to be telling you about this time around, so we want to get it all in.
So we're still over in Morocco, but we're going to try the potato pancakes. Do they call them latkes for this festival? They do. Potato pancakes for Flower Garden. Sorry, I should have pre-cut. I feel like the sauce is a lot more dilly this year. Maybe it's just been a whole year and I can't remember, but I like it. It's very good. It gives it a lot more flavor. Okay, also at L'Chaim is the black and white cookie back again. And I'm not usually a huge fan of this, but I gotta try it. I actually really like it this year. Go figure. I forget why I didn't like it last year. I think it was like too thick. So it's like, it's supposed to be a cakey cookie anyway. It's not really a crunchy cookie. But last year it was like ridiculously thick. But this year it's back to normal, which is funny because I was over there taking photos of it by the booth and I was right next to a family that were like, this cookie is terrible. It's always the worst cookie every year at the festival. So I thought that was funny. I was ready to agree with them, but I actually enjoyed it this year, so hooray, it's a win. And the potato pancakes were also really good this year, so I'm very excited to get more of these.
So at Refreshment Port, in the past we've gotten the turkey poutine and gotten it without the turkey gravy, and it's vegan with just the cranberry relish and crispy onions. It's $9 for, you know, not a lot. So we did find out that you can actually just order fries, which are on this menu over here. And if you wanted to switch that for sweet potato fries instead of regular fries, you can do that. So that's another option for you if you would like to grab some sweet potato fries as you're walking around.
We made our way over to Connections Eatery to enjoy the last item on our list from Noche Buena Cocina, which this year for the Festival of the Holidays is in the former Flavors from Fire booth. So it's on the way between Test Track and Creations Shop, which I can never remember the name of. Anyway, this is the tamale with plant-based chorizo, plant-based cotija cheese, and spicy red chili sauce. There's definitely more plant-based cheese this year than last year. I don't know if it's just the dish we were served or if that's what they're going for this year, but let me give it a try. It's actually really flavorful. The red sauce has the slightest kick to it, like maybe a 2 out of 5 on the spice level, but it's got a lot of great flavors. It's like tangy and tomatoey. The plant-based chorizo tastes great, very similar to, I'm trying to think of what else had this in it. I'm drawing a blank, but it's something that Disney has used before. But yeah, I think this is a good option this year. There's not too many to choose from, so I would definitely give this a try. wanted to do a recap. Hopefully this is slightly quieter and you can hear everything I'm saying. And there's carpet on the floor so the chairs won't move or make noise when they move. Anyway, let's go over again what we have at this festival that is vegan as is. We have the tamale over at Noche Buena, which is in the former Flavors from Fire booth. And that was a great returning item this year. I would get that again. It's not a huge amount of chorizo, but it does have a lot of flavor in it if you eat everything all together at once. It's not just the dry corn tamale by itself. We also have the potato latkes over at L'Chaim, which is between France and Morocco. And that is where you will also find the black and white cookie, which I actually enjoyed this year. It does still have that lemony flavor. It's a cakey cookie, so if you haven't had a black and white cookie before, be prepared for that. It's not like a crunchy, thin cookie or anything like that. But it did have a good amount of flavor and the right amount of thickness and frosting ratio. The latkes were really flavorful this year. I have to look up and see if it was a dill sauce before. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was, but the dill was like really packed in there this time, so I really enjoyed that. It does make a difference with the flavoring on there. We also have the peanut stew over at the Refreshment Outpost, and I will have to return in a few weeks, I guess, and hopefully they have peanuts, because I do think it really does make a difference, and that is lacking that texture and the crunch of the peanuts, because they were like really giant peanuts in there before. So it was still flavorful. It was still a good hearty dish, especially if it's been a little cooler lately here. It does have a lot of spice to it, so if you aren't into spicy things, you'll probably want to skip that anyway. But yeah, the missing peanuts were a major miss for me. Also in that same booth at the Refreshment Outpost, you can get raspberry Dole Whip. We didn't get it this time because, you know, we've gotten that a million times. But it is there for you if you want to enjoy some Dole Whip. So also we found new this year at Tuscany, which normally we never can have anything from Italy, but we had the slightly modified fried pizza dough balls with marinara, and you just have to say no Parmesan cheese on it, and it's totally vegan as is. Not anything to super write home about, but if you're like really craving some bread and sauce, you know, it's there for you. Also at that same booth for, I think, $7.50 was the same fried dough, but with cinnamon and sugar. And that was really great. If you're looking for something else sweet, since we only have the black and white cookie and the Dole Whip, this was a fun option, I think. And I would probably get that again because I love anything bread related. So. Also over at the Refreshment Court, which is the one before you get to Canada, that is where we have in the past modified the turkey poutine to get no gravy on it, and you can still get the cranberry and the fried onions, the little crispy onions. And this year they're doing it with sweet potato fries. If you want to modify that, it's kind of expensive. I don't know if I would do that for that flavor profile, but you can also just get French fries by themselves there, and you can ask for sweet potato fries instead of regular fries, and that's just $5. So that's another good option if you just want something else to tide you over between booths around the World Showcase. Also, some notes on the Las Posadas booth right in front of Mexico. Normally we've been able to modify that giant tostada, and this year the black bean puree is made with chicken broth, so make sure you do not attempt to modify that. It is pretty expensive. I think it was $11.50, so it's not really worth it to modify anyway, in my opinion. But now you can't do it anyway because there's chicken broth in it. Additionally, the spring rolls over in the Shanghai booth in China were also the same thing we had last year, where the citrus sauce for some reason has oyster things in it, so you can get the spring rolls and then go get soy sauce or something from Lotus Blossom Cafe if you wanted to, but again, it's just a basic spring roll like you would get at a mall location or something like that. Nothing really to write home about. I also almost forgot, over at the Tangerine Cafe in Morocco, we have the ever-returning Moroccan stone bread and dips, which has been there since Flower and Garden. and you have the 3 different kinds of dips, the hummus, the zoug, and the Zatar spices dips, and the bread is really great, so I do love that. You know, if you aren't sick of it from the other 2 festivals, make sure you give that a try. Overall, this is not a great festival for vegan items. There's 1 or 2, like the tamale and the latkes, I think are worth getting. The peanut stew, I loved it so much last year, but without the peanuts, it really is almost a miss for me, but I probably will still get it again. But yeah, you can't really plan your whole eating around the vegan items, so I would, you know, add in a visit to Spice Road Table or Le Cellier for some Brussels sprouts, and the off-menu poutine would be a great choice there for a quick snack in between. Don't forget there's the candlelight processional going on. There's the Joy gospel singers at the front, right behind the Christmas tree. What else is going on? The storytellers around. You've got the Olaf scavenger hunt. You've got the glimmering greenhouses. I already forgot what it's called, but we just showed you that. Over here in the land pavilion, you've got the special light shows on front of Spaceship Earth. So much fun things to see and do and experience at the Festival of the Holidays. So it's a fun, festive atmosphere, even if there's not a lot of vegan options for us. Just a quick note on the cookie stroll, which does exist here. You can't really get any of the cookies except the black and white cookie. If you wanted to get 5 black and white cookies, you could, but then the completer cookie is not vegan either, so you can get that and hand it off to a family member that may not be vegan if you wanted to. But yeah, so that happens to us every year. But from what I've heard, the cookie stroll cookies are not the best, so. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions on any of these items, drop me a comment. I'm happy to answer, give you any more detail on them. You can check out our full reviews on our blog post accompanying the festival. We have all the festivals covered on our site at vegandisneyfood.com. And please like and subscribe for more vegan Disney food videos. Thank you so much for watching. Check us out on Instagram. And yeah, thanks for watching Vegan Disney Food, your plant-based guide to the magic.